Wendy Williams' child uncovers Sharina Hudson's abhorrent arrangement for his mother. Apparently, the Wendy versus Kevin show will just deteriorate and uglier as their child, Kevin Jr., has recently reached out and spilled a few insane beans about Sharina Hudson' underhanded arrangement for his mother utilizing his dad. All in all, what's truly occurring and how chaotic could it at any point be? Indeed, how about we find out? Since the danger to her extravagant way of life, Sharina Hudson has been fairly sore and has even reprimanded Wendy Williams on her Instagram. Yet apparently she has changed her system in the wake of understanding that her forsaken claims have fizzled. Kevin Gier uncovered that Sharina reached Wendy to fix things up and put the previous behind them. However, the previous television anchor is sure that Sharina is after her cash. Sharina Hudson probably thought laying down with Wendy's better half, Kevin Tracker, resembled winning the lotto. That young lady trusted she wouldn't need to work one more day and that she couldn't have ever an issue with cash. Taking into account that Sharina would burn through millions on gorgeous purses and upscale cafes, Wendy Williams could be on television every day. In any case, things have changed so rapidly that Sharina and Kevin are as of now encountering serious difficulty and are basically figuring out each and every penny to earn enough to pay the bills. Furthermore, Sharina can never again depend on Kevin in light of the fact that Kevin Jur uncovered that she reached Wendy to arrange a commonly pleasing goal. However, apparently Wendy no longer needs to associate with this young lady, since she is stressed that Sharina is just endeavoring to get sufficiently close to Wendy's abundant resources of money. That might be the case given that Wendy has been real about her significant other's twofold life since she sought legal separation. She has uncovered how he spent their abundance on his long-term special lady Sharina Hudson, from whom he purchased fashioner satchels, restricted version extravagance vehicles, expensive gems, and different gifts. However, on the grounds that this was sufficiently not to satisfy Sharina's longing, Kevin involved Wendy's cash to buy a $750,000 house for his fancy woman, only a couple of kilometers from his home. We can absolutely comprehend Wendy's fury and her desire to for all time separate from these parasites. Albeit mindful of Sharina and Kevin's non-stop undertaking, she didn't endeavor to prevent them from taking from her for a long time. The most terrible viewpoint was that Sharina considered requesting more cash without deceptions about where all the cash was coming from. She later attempted to play a finance manager, however without a degree and making any work to get cash for her organization thoughts. She was indeed using Wendy's cash for it. As though having a brilliant Ferrari wasn't sufficient. All vegetarian eateries and attire brands for knee treatment have completely fizzled. However, do you accept Sharina at any point cared a whole lot? Since she didn't need to get up right on time to get this cash, as far as she might be concerned, it was all basically a game. So following 15 years of treating Mrs. Williams like a workhorse, this young lady currently requests a bit of compassion from her. Sharina clearly figured Wendy would support her until the end of her life, since she set no cash aside for a blustery day. As Wendy petitioned for legal separation, she unreservedly embraced her new job as the significant boo and Kevin Tracker's life, and didn't completely accept that this fantasy could at any point end. Her most noteworthy desire was to have Kevin Tracker to herself so she could keep on exploiting Wendy. Be that as it may, everything seemed, by all accounts, to be going flawlessly for her until Wendy unexpectedly quit, paying these two cheaters after her program was dropped, and she was given monetary guardianship. This is when Sharina at long last uncovered her actual self. By the by, since she didn't reserve the option to request anything from Wendy officially, Kevin Jur uncovered that Sharina involved Kevin as a ploy. She had him make up a story about being down and out and incapable to take care of his bills, so Wendy would feel frustrated about him. However, it didn't work, and Sharina's way of behaving turned out to be more unfriendly. Subsequent to being pushed by his special lady, Kevin figured out how to find the columnist who was keen on hearing his side of the story. He let the correspondent know that as the spouse for 20-plus years and the maker of the Wendy Williams show, he was qualified for half of everything. As indicated by reports, Kevin developed to be so confident that he even guaranteed sole credit for the outcome of the Wendy Williams show and took steps to fight for each penny Wendy owed him. In a meeting, he said he had brought in the cash and that he was not allowing them to take it. Strangely, not even the adjudicator is their ally. All things considered, I surmise Sharina ought to begin making her CV and get a new line of work to do. Yet, as per Kevin Jur, Sharina's new arrangement is to wipe the slate clean with Wendy and coerce cash from her by engaging her empathy and compassion in light of the fact that the dangers didn't work, and they additionally lost in court. What's more, the most exceedingly terrible piece of the story is the way that Sharina is ready to involve her own girl as a negotiating concession. In the event that you review, Kevin and Sharina invited a wonderful child young lady a couple of years prior. Miss not set in stone to look for separate because of this pregnancy. As indicated by Wendy, she could tolerate her better half's disloyalty. However, the possibility of imparting a home to the one who had turned into his paramour's youngster was a lot for the previous television character. As Wendy made sense of in the meeting the reason why she had chosen to petition for legal separation, having a full-term child is a totally different subject. Sharina put forth her last attempt to get some cash while monitoring how disturbing this subject is for Mrs. Williams. Kevin Jur asserted that she reached out to Wendy and attempted to coerce Wendy into paying support by guaranteeing her kid was likewise languishing. Obviously, Sharina attempted to infer that excursion and Wendy's child, Kevin Jr., are connected. Therefore, Wendy is committed to really focus on Tracker's youngsters, similarly in Sharina's all's eyes. Sharina Hudson would have won in the event that there had been an award for the year's most bold individual. Luckily, Wendy was unaffected by this discourse, since she realizes that Sharina simply attempted to additional her monetary advantages. Be that as it may, Kevin didn't stop there. He additionally spilled a few wild beans about how his dad controls Wendy. The Breezy versus Kevin case will just keep on turning out to be more regrettable and more chaotic. No doubt about it, the show continues to improve. Due to the disarray around the divorce settlement installments and the manner in which Kevin Tracker has been treating Wendy, their relationship has been stressed. When he lost the legal dispute, we thought the show was finished. Yet things have taken an insane turn as their child, Kevin Jr., has approached to uncover how his dad, Kevin Sr., has been controlling Wendy and hasn't quit any pretense of endeavoring. Reports about Kevin controlling Wendy are natural in light of the fact that a couple of individuals have previously approached for their accounts. One individual guaranteed that since he is uncertain and his main ability is spending her cash, which streams down to Sharina, he controls each aspect of her life. He takes her. Telephone, she has no companions, and she seldom speaks with her loved ones. Nonetheless, Kevin Jr. has given us more data about how strange Kevin's control and command over Wendy was. As indicated by an insider, Kevin Tracker Jr. unveiled that Wendy had gotten through long periods of psychological mistreatment on account of his dad. He likewise accused his dad of controlling Wendy and benefiting from her notoriety. Kevin Jr. claims that his dad was the person who encouraged his mom to exhaust herself, which eventually brought about her having medical conditions and dropping the program. As per Kevin Jr., Wendy's medication abuse challenges might have been brought about by his dad. He He asserted that his dad was very much aware of her compulsion, however decided to fail to address it since it was productive for him. He said that his dad had regulated his mom's life for a long time, and things periodically went crazy. If right, this is truly unusual. However, it likewise seems. Okay, considering what we definitely have some familiarity with Wendy's relationship with Kevin. It explains why she decided to remain with him, notwithstanding monitoring his broad history of infidelity with a similar woman. It likewise makes sense of why, in spite of the way that he undermined her, she assented to pay Kevin a sizable amount of cash every month in support. Then again, she was attempting to further develop her drinking propensities. However, under about 14 days after the fact, it was accounted for that she had backslid and must be taken to the emergency clinic. Then at that point, in the wake of looking at herself of the clear-headed house and beginning to drink vigorously, her family found her in rough shape. Kevin Jr.'s cases that his dad empowered Wendy's habit seem okay, considering that she did this subsequent to discovering that Kevin had made Sharina become pregnant. Somebody said that Kevin completely tricked Wendy